Welcome back. Now I'm going to explain you about morphological analysis. In this technique, in the first stage, the existing product or service is examined and their usages are selected on one axis. On the other axis, these are applied to the new idea developed or identification of the new ideas. So in one axis existing product, and in the other axis these are applied to the new idea developed. The morphological analysis table was drawn up to generate ideas. So this is about morphological analysis. And the next method is hitchhiking method. Okay. So here in this method, the organizer described the problem to be solved, including a brief of the approaches towards the solution that have been tried and failed. The goal of the group then is to identify a series of new viewpoints. In attempting to achieve this, a group member suggests a method for proceeding. The other group members then hitchhike on this initial suggestion, making embodiments, building in new data to help move the initial idea through to a viewpoint. The group leader has to be well trained, otherwise one person will make a contribution but a second will break it. Before the first one has finished, he will interrupt before the first one has finished and suggest a different approach. So this is about hitchhiking. The next method is creative listening. While most people in business are taught to talk, very few are taught to listen. Yet creative listening is an essential feature of group behavior technique. The leader of the team must understand body language. The next one is trigger session. This technique could be preferred while working with untrained participant. Each participant will have 2 sheets of paper. The problem is described and each participant write a solution or solutions on the first sheet. All the participants get only 2 minutes to write their ideas in the form of 2 words descriptors. For example, if the problem is to design a better bus ticket, potential ideas are written as, say, stamp forehead, plastic card, free transport, or electronic scorecard, etc. The group leader then invite one of the members to describe his or her ideas. The other participant must cross-cut from their own list the duplicate ones that are being read out without making verbal contribution. The next person has a slightly more difficult task of reading only those answers that have not been already thought of, and so it goes on around the group. At the end of the first pass, the group members are asked to read from the second sheet of paper the new ideas that have been triggered by what they have heard. The cycle passes backward and forward until everyone has had enough. This is an efficient technique because there are no long description of ideas. In trigger session, 100 of ideas can be developed very quickly. People have to listen very carefully and constructively. Only by listening can they prevent themselves from repeating ideas to build from an idea they have heard. Furthermore, as the session progresses, group members produce more and more divergent ideas in order to stay in the game. So this follow-up phase is very simple. So this is about trigger session. The next method is Taguchi Method. So a totally different way for a group to tackle problem is represented by this method. For example, a team in a factory is looking for ways to optimize the efficiency of a production process. Using the Taguchi method, the process is made into flowchart. All the participants, often the line workers, are invited to write down their ideas for improving the production process and send them notes. The facilitator then clusters the notes to try to build the overall process skeleton. The sets of ideas that have emerged, ideas which usually address different aspects of the process. The participant may then intervene and suggest that their idea is more generic or fits to another part of the process. The result is a series of incremental ideas tackling different parts of a problem. Participants are then invited to test and implement the solutions. A multicolored diagram is generated, showing in one color all the ideas which have been generated for improving the process, in another those which have been tried, and in third color those that have been implemented. So these technique is suitable for wide participation and is an excellent communication tool. By concluding this, we have seen that the starting point for any successful new venture is the basic product or service to be offered. An idea can be either generated internally or externally through various techniques. Some techniques are very structured while others are designed. The possible sources of new ideas range from comments of consumers to changes in government regulations and evolution of competitors' products and so on. Entrepreneurs can pick up new venture ideas by observation also. Once an idea or group of ideas are generated, the planning and developing process begins. If more ideas emerge, then they must be evaluated and screened. So with this, I am completing today's session. Thank you for your listening. Thank you.